Okay, so we are live. So let me start again by saying good evening, everybody. Thank you so much if you're here. And sometimes I just wonder why I do this. Sometimes I'll just tell myself, Coach T, rest. Rest. Because the truth is, there's no reason why I should do this. There's no reason why I should put up this group. There's no reason why I should take my time, my energy to teach and train us in this group. There's no reason why I will go the extra mile to bring other persons who know what they are doing to us. I have reason to do that. But again, I just do it. Not because I'm expecting anything from anyone, but because I just feel someone, somewhere, somehow can get to benefit from this and make their lives better. So I'm glad again that we have an opportunity to learn from an Amazon, to learn from someone who understands what training is all about, to learn from someone who has results, to learn from someone who is sold out to real estate. And honestly, it's indeed a great privilege to have this lady. And if you're ready to have her teach us, drop a 777 on the chat box. If you are ready to have her teach us, drop a 777 on the chat box. I want to see more 777 on the chat box. I'm trying to see if I can switch from this phone to my laptop. Please just give me a minute. Let's see if it will work. So okay, great. Can we still hear me? I think I switched from my phone to my laptop. And I want to confirm that you can hear me. Please drop a 111 on the chat box if you can hear me. Okay, amazing. Okay, so Lampi, I don't know, do you have a slide? Are you going to use a slide? If you do, I'm going to make you a host. So you can go ahead, share your slide, and talk to us. Are we ready? If you're ready, with a clapping ovation, let's make welcome the only land president I know in the whole of Nigeria. Welcome, Ma. We are glad you are here. Thank you for your time. If you say, may we'll pay you, we cannot pay you, but you've decided to do this for us for free. Thank you so much. God bless you. Please take it away right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Fortunately, I didn't prepare a slide, but I have some few notes with me. So maybe I'll just use my notes to, you know. Should I start?
Yes, please go on. Start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. First
Good
of all,
evening.
I want to thank Coach T for giving me the opportunity to talk to us this evening. Well, The topic I want to teach today is what most of us, is familiar with. We might know it, we might not know it. So I just wanted to discuss it based on my own personal experience and all that. So today we're going to be talking about branding in general. Most times when people talk about branding, what comes to their mind is logo and all that. But branding is not all about logo. Branding is not all about logo, color, or whatsoever. So branding is just it's a reputation, or should I say a perception, how people perceive you. That is what branding is all about. It's not about logo, the color, the way you dress and all that. No, branding is perception. How do people perceive you? Your reputation, your experience people have when they come in contact with you or when they do business with you. That is what branding is all about. Let's take, for example, there are people that we know, all the celebrities, for example, Tony Elumelu. When you see a man that always dress on suits with a red slim tie, of course, you know that it's Tony Elumelu because that is the way he dresses. It's also his brand. He usually wear more of suits with a red tie. So that is to tell you that branding can be associated with the way you dress, the experience that people have when they meet you. So when people meet you, what kind of experience do they have when they meet you? That is what branding is all about. Branding is how people feel when they do business with you. Constantly showing up in a way that projects your identity. You don't have to copy another person, because most of us, the mistake that most realtors do is because they want to copy what another person is doing. Oh, this person is doing this the same way. Oh, let me just copy this person and do it. Copying is not bad, but you don't have to copy what every other person is doing. You have to find your unique selling point or unique selling proposition. That is what makes you stand out from the crowd. Because when you copy what other people are doing, a point will come when you get tired. So you don't have to copy what another person is because, oh, maybe this person usually dance whenever he or she is making video. For that, you say, let me just dance. No, that person that is dancing on that video is her own branding. People know her or him that she usually dances time she's making a video. So you now copying her means that you have low self-esteem. You don't even know yourself very well. That is why we should take personal branding very serious. And again, another part of branding is how do people know you? For example, anybody that comes, if you're the type that usually come early, maybe in meetings or any gatherings, people will know you as someone that is always punctual. It's part of branding. People knows you, this person, he or she keeps to time, or doesn't do African time. It says a lot about you keeping to time. It's also part of branding. So how you show up consistently for over a period of time is what branding is all about. Then the next question is now, most people pay attention to their physical identity. Most people pay attention to the way they dress, the way they, those things are okay. They are very okay. But there are more to physical identity. There are more to it. So when people meet you, what kind of experience do they have when they meet you? When you talk to people, what kind of experience how do people perceive you? That is what branding is all about. So when people see you, what do they think first? Do you have to explain yourself before people know you? If you have to explain yourself before people know you, that is not branding. So reputation is also another thing associated with branding. Your credibility. When you promise clients allocation within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, do you deliver? When you promise clients, oh, after 3 months or within 3 months, the documents will be ready. Do you deliver within that 3 months? All those things are part of branding. It says a lot about you. How do customers feel when they do business with you? Because some of us realtors, once we sell to clients and collect our commission, we will disappear. We won't even bother to, work on the client allocation or documents. I've seen countless times when clients will just message me and be like, oh, I bought so land somewhere and I noticed that you sell for this company too. I bought a land somewhere, and up till now, I've not gotten my allocation, I've not gotten my documents. And I know that it's a realtor like me that sold such property. So how do you build credibility and reputation in real estate? We all know that once people trust you, they'll be able to buy from you over and over again. So imagine a client who have been prospecting for a long period of time. You'll be telling these clients, oh, come and buy land, we have genuine land. And finally, the client decided to patronize you. And most of us, because we are desperate to sell, we promise our clients heaven and earth. So if you pay today, you are getting allocation within 2 days. You are getting your documents at most 1 week. When the client now makes payments, you will disappear. The client will not get his allocation within 3 days as you promised. All those things are not branding. So branding is when you speak, your integrity. How do people feel when they do business with you? If a client buys properties from you, how do you attend to that client? How do you serve them? That is what branding is all about. If they know you are this person, once he or she tells you 3 months, you get your documents. 3 months is at 3 months. 1 week is at 1 week for allocation. That is what branding is all about. That is what branding is all about. It's your reputation. And not just you doing it once, but you doing it repeatedly, consistently for over a period. It's not today. You say, after 1 week, we'll give you allocation. The client will now buy. So maybe after 1 week, you deliver. Then next time, the client will now come thinking, oh, that you treat him well, just as you did before. The client will now buy. And after 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, the client is still begging for allocation. So branding is what you do consistently. It's not one-off thing. Oh, today you did it better. Tomorrow it will get worse. No, that is not what branding is all about. Branding is what you do consistently, whether people are watching you or not. That is what branding is all about. So, and another thing again is that branding is also part of how people meet. For example, a lot of us have billboards in Asaba. A lot of us have billboards in Asaba. So when customers meet you, when they see your billboard, when they see your social media platform, your website, they can easily connect with you. All those things are part of branding. They can easily call. They'll be like, oh, this person is a popular figure. I usually see her face on flyers, billboard, and all that. So all those things also helps to build credibility to where client is. Another thing again is how long does it take you to reach out to your prospects? Most of us that usually run sponsored ads, for example, when it comes to the ad setup and all that, maybe you set the time when you reach out to clients within 24 hours. So when you now run the ad and the clients reach out, does it take you more than 24 hours for you to respond to their clients? Most of us, when a client chats us, it take us 1 week for us to respond to a client. But if you're able to respond within 24 hours, it also tells more about you. And not just doing it once, but doing it consistently. Most of us will be lamenting that we are not making sales, But how do we treat prospect? How do we treat clients that always come to our DM trying to make inquiries? Sometimes I've seen cases whereby business owners, maybe I needed something and maybe somebody shared me with a contact of someone. I will chat the person. It will take them like 3 or 4 days for them to respond. Any person that takes 3 or 4 days to respond, that person will not deliver. Because imagine you paying the person money. Of course, you have to fight for you to get your money back or the goods or what you paid for. So all those things are part of branding. How do you talk? How do you dress? Is part of branding. Even since something as simple as perfume that you spray on your body is part of branding. Once people notice you with a particular fragrance, even if you enter into a room and it's filled with people, they will say, Boshti is here because of the fragrance of your perfume. It's also part of branding. Because people have actually, in fact, they know how you smell. It's also part of branding. It's not about logo or about the kind of car you drive. No, it is not branding. Branding is that thing that you neglect, that thing that you think that people are not watching or people are not observing. They are really observing. In fact, I have count number of my clients that anytime I see someone spray that particular perfume, I'll be like, this person has reminded me about Okechukwu or something because of the fragrance of his perfume. It is all part of branding. How you smell is part of branding. How you dress, how you look is part of branding. The way you talk, your voice is also part of branding. So another thing again is that how do people see you when they interact with you? People see you as someone that is rude, arrogant, polite or intelligent. All these things are part of branding. And as a realtor that is selling real estate, you have to possess this trait for people to be able to relate with you. It's not all about answering land goddess, this and that. It's about experience. It's about experience. How do people perceive you when they do business with you? Do you deliver when you say they're going to deliver? Most of us, what usually kill most of us is because of the companies that we sell to. Even though that most times the fault is not usually from us and maybe some delays from the company. But clients will, because most clients buy properties because they trust you. They know you. And fortunately, most of them don't even know the name of the estate they are buying. What they know is that this person showed me this land and I paid. So when you now start giving them stories, they will start seeing you as someone that is not serious. They don't know what you are doing, even though the fault is not from you. But because they are buying you, not really the products. People buy because they trust you. They buy you. They know that, yes, you can be able to help them facilitate their location, their documents, and everything to make things very easy for them. That is why they trusted you with their money. So, of course, you have to deliver. You have to give them that impression that, yes, you're someone that they can trust with their money and their everything. So, branding is how you treat people, how people perceive you when they have experience with you, how you make them feel. That is all part of branding. The problem is not that, most realtors will complain, the market is saturated, we have so many realtors, we have so many top selling realtors, this and that. The thing is that the market is not saturated. Well, because people like following the crowd, nobody wants to stand out, nobody wants to be different. That is why it looks as if the market is saturated, because everybody just doing the same thing everybody is doing. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah,
Hello,
I would
can
say it
somebody hear
makes
me?
sense. Yes, loud and clear.
Hear you in the comment section. Type in the comment section.
We can hear you.
I can hear you. Let me know if I'm making sense or not. All right, okay. So that is what branding is all about. So the market is not saturated. It's just that the way a person is doing. And sometimes we'll complain that we are not making sales. You have to stand out from the crowd. If you really want to make sales, you really want to sell consistently in real estate, you have to learn how to stand out from the crowd. You don't have to do what every other person is doing, because if you keep doing what every other person is doing, of course, there's nothing that will differentiate you from this person to another person. But what will make a client to leave a realtor A to buy from you is because of branding, the way you carry yourself. That is what will make client to leave realtor A to come and buy from you. So that is what branding is all about. And the problem again is that learning how to brand ourselves for profitability is what most realtors don't do. Most realtors, when you tell them to go for trainings, go for paid trainings, none would like to pay. Nobody, because everybody likes free training. They'll keep giving you excuses. I don't have money. I don't have this, even though they are making sales and they are making the money, but they don't want to go that extra mile and add value to what, that will bring in more money for their business. So if you are someone that runs a company or an organization, how do your staff dress? How do they greet? All these things are part of branding. When someone hugs you, what aroma do they perceive? I've thought about that one is when it comes to perfume. Your perfume is also a brand. If you wear a particular perfume for a long period of time, people will know you with that perfume. In fact, when you pass, people will be like, this person just passed through. Even though you're not the one that passed, but another person spray that kind of perfume. But it will remind you about a person. Oh, this person usually spray this kind of perfume. That is what branding is all about. When you are, for example, if you're someone that usually watch all these skit makers on Facebook, we all know that Sabinus, the one that Mr. Funny, investors, Sabinus, when you watch his skits usually wear sky blue t-shirts and black trouser. Anytime you see white sky blue t-shirt and black trousers, you know that it is Sabinus. That is his branding. People have known him with that particular dress. Someone like Brain that I usually wear green top and baggy trouser. People know him with green top and baggy trousers. That is his own brand. That what makes him stand out among other skit makers. That dress alone, the way he does his skits and all that, that's what made him stand out from other skit makers. So if he's just doing like what every other person is doing, he wouldn't have stood out. I don't know if I'm making sense. So that is what branding is all about. You have to stand out from the crowd. For example, if you are someone that usually like making videos in Igbo and you are consistent with people will know you are. You don't know that realtor that usually make videos in Igbo. People will know you with, oh, you usually make videos in Igbo. If you're that realtor that usually maybe usually ring bell, anything that will just make you stand out from what every other person is doing is what branding is all about. So once you start doing it consistently, people will know you. This guy usually ring bell anytime he's in the site, or those kind of things is what branding is all about. Branding is part of you. Branding is part of you. It's what you do consistently, unconsciously or consciously. It's all part of branding. And again, your graphics. If you're someone that is into graphics designer, your graphics, how you design your flyers and everything, also says more about your brand. Even if you show a blind man your flyer, they will say, ah, I know these people. One thing I like about P1 is that their graphics or their flyer is unique. You can't see any other company doing their flyer exactly the way they do this. It's kind of unique. And that design is what every other affiliate is using. So once you see their flyer, you know, this is P1 flyer. This is P1 flyer. That is how unique the brand is. And they have been doing it for a long period of time. Whenever you see a P1 flyer anywhere, even in trash can, even at night, you will know that, oh, this brand is P1 because of their branding, the way they design their flyer, their graphics. It's just the same thing all over the affiliates. So that is what branding is all about. Then color also is part of branding. Color. I've talked about Tony Elumelu. He liked wearing a suit with red tie, red slim tie. It's part of Tony Elumelu. So when you see Brain Jotter wearing green top and baggy trouser, it's all part of branding. That is color. Green is color. So color also says more about your branding. And color also affects people's mood. When you use a dull color, people will not like to associate with you because the color you are using does not improve their mood. And that is why whenever you are choosing a brand, you must choose your color wisely because color says more about your branding. You don't have to copy what every other person is doing. Or because this person is using green, let me use green. You have to know the color that speaks volume. Anytime people see your flyer, anywhere they see, they will know, this is this person's. That's the color of her brand or his brand. So color also makes people stand out among the crowd. I don't know if I'm making sense. So perception is what really affects people's taste for how people perceive you. If people perceive you, oh, you're a cheap realtor, they will keep buying properties worth 1 million naira from you. But when people perceive you as a realtor, like that has high taste for class and luxury, of course, they will be comfortable to do business with you, business worth over 100 million naira, because of how they perceive you. When I started real estate 2 years ago, then I was selling properties below 600K, 700,000, 1 million, because I felt that, that's how far I can go, that's how low I can go, because I felt that people will not really buy property worth 50 million naira from me. So I was afraid selling high ticket products. I felt, that I'm not qualified to sell high ticket products. So I said, let me just be selling cheap land. So I started selling cheap land until a client of mine told me one thing. He said, you need to upgrade. You need to upgrade. And for you to upgrade, for people to be able to do business with you worth millions of naira, one, you have to change the way you dress. Because the way I was dressing that way, I was just dressing like a market woman. Someone that is selling cheap property, what do you expect? I was dressing so cheaply. So the client just called me and said, I want to advise you on something. In fact, the client was the first client that bought property worth 8 million naira from me. Imagine somebody that is selling 1 million naira property, 600K, 700K. and you now got a client that bought a land worth 8 million naira. So after that transaction, the man called me aside. In fact, he took me out. He was like, I want to talk to you. I want to advise you on something. I've been watching you for a long period of time on Facebook. In fact, that was what made me to buy properties from you. You are very sound. You know what you are doing in real estate. But the way you dress, you need to work on the way you dress. Immediately you say that, in fact, shame catch me that day. A man telling me, oh, the way you dress, you look so cheap. You need to upgrade the way you dress. Anytime you close it, you just remove small money, go to a nice clothes. Even if you can't afford a boutique, there are so many clothes that are affordable that you can actually wear and look decent. This is what this guy told me, that I should pay attention to the way I dress. That was what made me to start paying attention to the way I do, because I was dressing so cheaply. I felt, since I'm going inside bush, there is no need of me dressing good. After all, I'm going inside bush. I'm not going to the office. So why should I dress, you know? So that was what really made me to start working on my dressing. And trust me, it paid off. It paid off because of the way I dress. Sometimes, see, if a client have not really, have not complimented your dress the way you look, then you have not started in this business. If a client have not say, Omo, I like the way you dress, so this your suit makes sense, you have not started. You have not started. So clients needs to, if they have not complimented the way you dress, your shoe, your perfume, know that you have not started this business. So since I got that advice, I started to work on my dress, the way I dress, the kind of hair, because I was making all back, all these local all back. I'll just do it, wear one Ankara, all the cheap Ankara clothes. I'll wear it and go ahead and head to the side. I felt that there is no need of me dressing good since I'm going inside bush. So there is no point me dressing good. Until that guy talked to me, said, you need to work on the way you dress. Because me, I like people that dress very well. If you notice, I dress very well, and I like doing business with people that dress very well. The reason why I bought land from you is because you are very sound. You know what you are doing in real estate. That's what made me to buy from you. But if I should judge you based on your appearance, I'm not going to buy from you. That was what this man told me. And I got home, I had to advise myself. So what I was doing then is any sales I make, for example, let's say that I sold a property of 1 million naira and they paid me 100,000. I'll just remove 50,000 naira from the money, at least get some decent clothes and wear. My dressing changed. The way I dress started changing, People will be like, nne, nke a yi ezigbo akwa, feel like say you hit a jackpot, because people are not used to me dressing that good, because they know me, I used to dress anyhow, consign me. If I see slippers, I will wear, they go where they go. I was like, I know they, I know they find us right now. I know they look anybody face, but it was affecting my business. It was affecting my business. So I had to work on the way I dress. Most of us realtors, we make money, but instead of us to remove money and buy better clothes, we find it difficult to buy clothes. We find it very difficult to buy clothes. So the way you dress will also attract people. For example, if you're someone that usually go out for marketing, if you don't dress well and you approach a prospect, they might even dismiss you and say, oh, I'm not interested. But when you dress well, you look good, you smell nice, at least they'll be able to give you 3 or 5 minutes of their time to listen to what you are saying. So dressing is also very, very important. It's also part of your branding. It's also part of your branding, because your dressing creates perception about you. And when people have bad perception about them, they are not going to buy properties from you. So perception goes a very long way in real estate. That is why sometimes a client might be buying a property worth 1 million, 2 million from you. But when they want to buy a property with a worth over 15 million, they will buy from another realtor, because they felt that they cannot trust you with that huge amount of money. Maybe because of the way you dress, the way you talk and all that. They felt, if I give this person my money, this person will disappear with them, because they can't trust you with that huge amount of money. But anytime they want to buy cheap land, they will come to you and buy. Because that is where your level, that is where your position is. That is why you have to upgrade yourself. You have to pay for trainings. Aside all these free trainings, also make out time and paid for all these paid classes. It will help you a lot. It will help you a lot. You have to learn aside free classes are okay, but you also need to pay for you to have access to other people that are better than you. So the way you dress, the way you talk also matters a lot. Before now, before I turn real estate, I'm this person that I have hot temper. I usually get triggered. I have hot temper, you know. So my mom will usually tell me I should work on my hot temper, that I have hot temper, I should work on it. So I started working on it. In fact, the reason why I started working on it was like I missed a client I wanted to buy a property from because of hot temper. That was what made me to start working on my tolerance level. Because in this business, you're going to meet clients that will push you to the wall, client that will make you so angry. In fact, you feel like cursing them, but you don't have to. So that is what that is one thing real estate will teach you. It will teach you how to be resilient. It will teach you how to tolerate people, emotional intelligence. That is what real estate will teach you. So if you are someone that has hot temper, I'm sorry, this business is not for you, because clients will push you to the wall. They will push you. They will make you angry that you will feel like you want to curse them. I actually lost a deal that worth 70 million because of hot temper. This man has been buying properties from me. He's been buying properties from me over and over again. Then one day something happened. After taking him to site, negotiating and all that, he said, okay, that he's going to send money in 2 days' time. After 2 days' time, I didn't hear from him. I sent him message, he ignored me. He didn't pick my calls. He didn't even, you know, tell me anything. So after 1 week, this same man came back, no apology. He just pretended as if nothing happened. I was very angry. I started insulting the man. Was like, I told the man so many things. The man got angry, and at the end, he told me the reason why he didn't pay, and I felt so bad because of hot temper. So if you're someone that has hot temper or someone that is easily triggered, you're not going to go far in this business, because clients are going to push you to the wall. They're going to trigger you. So how you respond is based on you, not on the client. So sometimes people can choose not to do business because of the way you talk. Maybe you were rude, maybe someone annoyed you and you decided to transfer the aggression on the innocent prospect. The person will not do this, because the person will feel like, oh, that's how you talk to every other person. That is why, as a business owner, you have to work on yourself. You have to work on it, because that is what actually attracts people to you. You have to work on yourself, your mindset, the way you think, and all that. I know of a realtor, because she usually sell property of 600K. I told her, why don't you sell other property that are above 600,000? She said, that she cannot do such business, that she prefers those cheap land that she sells. I think that most times our problem is mindset. We feel that we cannot sell expensive property because of the way we see ours. Maybe we will grow up in poor background or an environment that is not favorable. So it tends to limit us in business. So when you say property of 200 million, you'll be like, no, I cannot sell this property. That is what your mind will tell you, because you have not really worked on your mindset. So when you work on your mindset, you start attracting those huge deals. If not, you will still remain at that particular level where you will sell only 1 million naira property, and you remain at that level. Before now, in Asaba, that should be 3 years ago. The property that we do, as operators normally sell properties below 1 million, 1.2, even some affiliates there. The highest property you will see at that time was 2 million naira, 3 million naira, until Julius came into Asaba. In fact, it was one that changed the perspective of how people see properties in Asaba. In fact, his first property then was 4.5 million. But because PPOs are used to selling 600K, 1 million naira, people were like, can we sell this property? Because it's above their league. You just tell them that you can do it. And today, everybody in Asaba selling land worth 35 million, 10 million, 5 million. Before, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that in Asaba 3 years ago. Everybody just selling 100K, 600K, 300K, because we felt that is where our level is. Until Julius came to Asaba and changed the perceptive, as in, he changed the realtor's mindset. In fact, when I closed my first day with Julius, that was when people knew, someone can actually sell 21 plots on outrightly, because we are used to selling cheap lands of 1,600,000 naira. So that made realtors in Asaba to sit up. Now you celebrate realtors that sell 6 plots, 10 plots, 12 plot, 20 plot. Then it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. But since we came, we changed the we changed the narrative that, oh, you can actually sell a property worth 5 million. You can actually sell 21 plots of it. You can actually sell 10 plots. You can actually sell 6 plots. That was what made the realtors to sit up and say, like, oh, this thing is possible. Because then it was as if it is impossible for a realtor to sell a property worth over 100 million naira. It is land. So Julius 9 came and changed that perspective. Now, realtors are selling land in acres, but then it wasn't like that. So all those things are when you work on your mindset. When you work on your mindset, how do people want to associate with you? When people hear your name, what comes to their mind? When people come in contact with you, how do you make them feel? That is what branding is all about. You know, you people must be familiar with my name, Land President. In fact, I'm not the one that gave myself Land President, to be honest with you. It was a client that really gave me that name. I helped the client to sort out one land issue. I was not the one that sold that property. But the way I handled it, the man said, it was making me president in there. That was how that name originated, Land President. I'm not the one that gave my name by myself that name. It was a client that actually gave me that name. So sometimes how people perceive, they can give you name based on how they perceive you, how they see you. That is what make them to give you a name. So that was how my brand name originated. That is how my brand name originated. So how you make people feel is part of branding. And if you want to go far in this business, you have to go extra mile for you to be different, for you to stand out. Yes, you might decide to do something different, and along the line, you are not making it, you are not making sales the way you want to make. Yes, it might be slow initially, but with time, people will start getting familiar with the way you do your business. That is what branding is all about. Then, personal branding goals. What are your personal branding goals? What are your personal branding? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. What are your personal branding goals? Number one, you have to define your goals. How? You know, most of all, you just sell land, you just sell properties to collect commission. We don't really have a goal. We don't have a why we are doing real estate. Most of us, it's just the money. Yes, money is very important. But aside money, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Because all these things will make you, to work on yourself, to work on your business, and to work on your branding. What are your career goals? Is it long-term or short-term? Most of us that is doing real estate now, trust me, in the next 5 years, a lot of us will quit the business. Some are just here to make the money and go, while some are here to build a long-term business in real estate. So that is what it was. First of all, set a clear goals on what you want to achieve in this business. Again, is that determine what you want your personal brand to achieve. What do you want your personal brand to achieve? Do you want your brand to stay with, if you promise a client allocation within 3 months, you will deliver. If you promise a client document within 3 months, you will deliver. Once one client knows you and you do it consistently, guess what? And whenever they want to refer a client or a friend or a relative to buy from you, they will tell you, within 3 months, this person will give you document. She doesn't waste time. Within 1 week, she will give you allocation. That is the perception that you have built in the mind of the client, that after 1 week you buy property, they're going to give you allocation. It's all part of branding. You know, most of us realtors, we don't advise our clients on what to do. If a client have not consulted you and say, please, I want to buy this land, can you give me advice on what to do? If a client have not asked you for your opinion, then you have not started this business. I have this client that anytime he wants to buy property, whether from me or from another person, he must first of all tell me, Alampi, please help me and chart this land. Also help me to run a thorough due diligence on the land before I buy. And if I tell him, sir, don't buy, he will not buy. Recently, a friend of his showed him a property around Anwai Road 74. It's a very large expanse of land, about 1 acre. He wanted, the friend wanted two of them to pull resources together and buy the land. His friend is his best friend, though, like his tight friend, his best friend. But he told his friend that Amaka will help me and do the verification process. If it is okay, I will buy. At first, the friend was like seeing him, you are not serious. Me and you don't know, Tete. na woman where they trust, may she help you chat land. Why I know say I go put my money too. The man said no, that he will not buy until I chat the land for him. I make sure that the land is safe. So I called my surveyor and we went there to chat the land. Upon the chatting, the surveyor discovered that some part of the land fell into government land, as in some part of the land has boundary with government land. So the surveyor told me, I called the man and said, see what is going on. The man said, okay, what do I think? Should you go ahead and buy? I told him, see, buying a land that has boundary with government land is risky because in the future, government might encroach on your land. And if you don't have CFO, they're not going to compensate you. So I gave him my advice. I told him, but if you still want to buy, then that will be entirely your decision, not mine. This man said that he's not going to buy the property again since I have done my search and the location is not viable. That he's not going to put his money. So he called his friend and told him. His friend felt bad. In fact, the friend had to call me and was like, make I call the surveyor. Make the surveyor come again and do the chatting. I told him, sir, we have done the chatting. So there is no point coming back the second time because the result will still say the same thing. So the guy felt bad because he feel that, oh, that I'm the one putting asunder for their deal. But this man trusted me so much. If I tell him go ahead, he will go ahead. If I tell him don't buy, he will not buy. So if you don't have clients like that, then you don't know what you're doing in real estate. Most of us, we have this selfish interest because our desire is to sell land and collect commission. You know that this land is having issue. You know that this land is not fit for your client. But because you needed money, you needed that commission, you went ahead and tell your client to buy, and your client bought. So many realtors that sold so many problems, most of them know that this land is having issues. But because they really need money, they will not tell their client to go ahead and buy. And at the end, they will start facing challenges. And of course, once you don't deliver, the client will no longer trust you and they will not buy from you again. So this our business is very risky and very sensitive. So you have to be very careful as a realtor. You don't have to do what every other person is doing. How many realtors in Asaba can comfortably demand for documents to do their search? How many realtors in Asaba? Because what all of us are doing is that whenever they show us property, we'll just go and start selling because we felt, oh, after all, it's an estate land. Of course, it is safe and genuine. No, not all estate land is genuine. Not all estate land is genuine. So before you buy a property, you have to do your findings very well. You have to verify the land to know if it is fit for your clients to invest. There are so many realtors now in prison because of wrong transaction. But I have a friend of mine that EFCC is always on her case now because she stole a lot of land in Asaba that has issues. And of course, one of the clients took it so personal. They arrested her in Abuja. They were just dragging her to and fro. She's not the one that ate money, but she's the one bearing the consequences. So as a realtor, this business can give you money, yes, but you have to be very careful. You have to be very careful on the type of land that you are selling. You have to be very, very careful. Don't make people start regretting why they did business with you in the first place. That is why you don't have to do what every other person is doing. You have to stand out from the crowd. And you can only do that when you invest in yourself, when you invest in knowledge. There are so many law courses out there about real estate where you can learn so that you understand the legal part of this business. Because most of them, we're just selling land because we just want to get commission and incentive without minding the root title of the document, if that land is actually genuine, because we are after money and incentive. So when you start doing the right thing as a realtor, it is also part of brand. People will know you, this person, she sells a new land though. Maybe genuine land, she sells genuine land. People will start referring you because they feel that, oh, you know what you're doing in real estate. And when a client comes to you for consultation, how do you tackle their problem? How do you consult them? How do you talk to them? That is what really matters. That's what branding is all about. Because we all know that when you treat one client well, one client is equal to 10 customers. If you treat one client bad, of course, you have lost 10 referrals from that client. That is why you have to do things separately. You have to stand out from the crowd. You have to stand out from the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. There was this MD, I don't want to mention the name of the company. So this man, one of my clients, I don't know where this man got the flyer of this estate. He just came to my DM and was like, I should go and make inquiries about this estate that he wants to buy. Said, okay, fine. I asked for details, their office address, the number of the MD and all that. So when I called the MD, I came to his office. I was like asking him for the documents of the property. He said, document is not the problem. Anybody that wants to sell land, anybody that wants to buy land can buy land. There's an estate that this and that. He started talking a whole lot of. I said, I know, but I needed the documents of the land so that it will help me to do my findings very well. The man was like, he didn't give me a straightforward answer. I said, okay, fine. Let's go to the sites. Let me see the land. We went to the land. Unfortunately, their fencing has been demolished. Fencing that they did. I'm like, what's going on? He said, there'll be all these boys we come demolish their fence. He was like trying to use stories to cover up. So I'm like, something was off in the transaction. I said, okay, let me not judge yet till I'm able to do my findings. So after the inspection, I asked him that I want to see the document for me to, to send to my lawyer to do the search. He said, okay, in 3 days' time, that he's going to send me the document. After 3 days, I chatted him up. He didn't respond. I called, he didn't pick. 3 days passed, 4 days passed, 5 days passed. I didn't hear from him again. So I had to tell my client, see, but if you still want to buy, then I will not be part of it. You can call the MD and do your transaction. Don't get me involved. The man said, no, that is not buying. Since I didn't approve the land, there is no point of him wasting money. That was how the man didn't buy the property. So what actually makes you stand out from other realtors? Because this our business is highly competitive. Even in Asaba, we have over 2,000 realtors in Asaba. So what makes you stand out? What makes you stand out from what every other person is doing? Because trust me, if you keep doing what every other person is doing, you're not going to get results. You need to stand out from the crowd, people to draw to you. You have to stand out. That is what branding is all about. So most of us, we are just afraid of demanding for more. We are afraid, if I tell them about documents, nobody, they will not allow me to sell. Who told you that? As a realtor, your job is to be the first lawyer of your client. That is your job as a realtor. Your job is to be the first lawyer to your client. So when you can't guide your client on the right thing to do, of course, you have failed as a realtor. You have failed as a realtor. You know that this land is having issue. This land is not okay. But you went ahead and sold the property to your client because you want commission. You want incentive. At the end, you lose that client. And we're living in a small world. If you don't treat a client well, maybe somewhere the man, maybe somewhere luck might have you. You might even run into his friend. Maybe wanted to buy land and he will not be telling this his friend, I want to buy land. The friend will be like, who are you buying the land from? Once they mention you, the client will be like, this person, don't buy from this person. No. This person has a reputation of selling problem land. So once they start seeing you that way, automatically you have killed your brand. It's a very small word if you don't know. It's a very small word. In fact, there was a time when a client, I'm not the person that sold this property to this man, but he claimed that someone gave him my number. He chatted me. He was like asking me if I know so land. I wanted to deny that I don't know this because that land had issue. I wanted to deny. You know what happened? This man sent me a video. I was in that video. He was like, hey, but you're in that land now. That's why I'm chatting you. I was so ashamed of myself. Because trust me, anything you are doing online, people are watching you. How that man was able to get that video, I don't know. But he bought land in that same location, and that land is having issue. So because of it, he now came back and was like asking me if I can be able to help him. I wanted to deny that I don't know the land until he sent me the video. And I was like, but you in this video now, are you not the person or is this your twin? I didn't know what to say again. I didn't know what. That is why you have to be very careful on whom you associate with, whom you snap picture with. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful. Because if people see you with a person that they know that this person doesn't have good reputation, of course, they will have wrong perception about you that, oh, now you friend, now them. Once you snap picture with that person, now them. So you have to be very careful about the way you interact, the way you snap pictures, even in public places. You have to be very careful. You don't know who is who. You have to be very careful. What are that like snapping pictures with popular people and all that. You have to be very careful. It's not everywhere you see person you will snap picture. You don't know the kind of integrity that person has. And imagine client now seeing you snapping picture with this person. They will be like, this person is not a good person. I know this person now. So that is what branding is all about. Who you associate yourself with is also part of branding. For example, there are people that you snap picture with. Clients and they would like to do business with you. You know this person. People like Stephen Akintayo, if you take picture with them, of course, everybody knows Stephen Akintayo. They'll be like, for you to snap picture, it means that you have access to this person and they would like to do business with you. So you have to be very careful on the people that you snap picture with in events, occasions, anywhere. You have to be very, very careful. So that is what branding is all about, how people perceive you, how people see you. Once they hear your name, what comes to people's mind? Once they see your logo, what comes to their mind? Once they see your color, what comes to their mind? So all these things are part of branding. And again, you also have to ask yourself, what do you have to offer that others don't? What do you have to offer aside buying land, getting a location, getting documents? What other things do you have to offer that other people are not doing? That is what makes you stand out from the crowd. Because of course, everybody, we are doing allocation, we are getting documents. After that, what next? So how you make clients feel is your brand. How you make them feel, the buying process, everything, both before the sales, after the sales, and everything. Sometimes I used to go to the site and do an update video and send to my client. Even when they have bought like maybe 8 months ago or 1 year ago, I will always go to the site. I'll make an update. I'll send. I'll be like, someone is already building in this our estate to see the level of development. That is what after sales is all about. It's not when you collect money, give them documents and location. That's all. You also have to keep updating them on what is going on in that estate. It gives them a sense of belonging, or that their property is actually appreciating. So all those things is the kind of experience or experience that you want clients to have when they come in contact with you. You update them. If they want to do fencing, you help them to do fencing. You help them to do fencing. That is the job as a realtor. You have to make things very easy for your clients. So how they perceive you, how they see you is actually what your branding is all about. And again, it's stories. Stories usually help. If you're a good storyteller, it also attracts people to you. You have to tell your brand story, how you started real estate and all that. All those things are part of story. People love story. People love to read story. People like Amebo. People like Amebo. If you're a family person, you can always post about your family once. That is why I usually like watching Coach T's status. He always make video of his family and all. And I usually like it. I like watching it. And most people like watching it too. So what are you doing aside business? What is your personal life? Can people relate with your personal life? It's also part of branding. Another celebrity that I love watching a lot on Facebook is Tony Elumelu. His business, the way he attend occasions, the way he carries his family, his wife, all those things. Aside business, he will also show you his personal life, the way he lives his life. If he attends functions with his wife, he will always post it. Anytime he's with his family, he will always post. So that you will see the other side of Tony Elumelu. It's not always all about business. So sometimes have a life outside your business. All those things are branding. They are all branding. How do you take care of your family? If you're a family man, how do you take care of your family? Do you have a meet time with your family? You usually take your family out, enjoy, and all that. So people love to see the other side of you. That is all part of branding. People love to see you aside business. What else do you like doing? What is your private life like? People love GIF, they love story, they love Amiibo. They want to know you beyond business. So that is why, aside posting business all the time, you also post your personal life. Let people relate to you because we are all human beings. Aside business, we are all human beings. So when they start relating with you, of course, doing business with you, be very comfortable with them. In fact, you have not gotten to the point where a client will have to share their own private life, their own private struggle. Then you have not started as a realtor. You have not started until a client sees you as a family member. They can easily tell you, see what I'm facing, because they trusted you a lot. They are seeing you as part of their family. Then you have not started as a realtor. So all these things is what makes you a brand. It all makes you as a brand. So how do you sell your estate? It's also part of branding. How do you sell your estate? It's also part of branding. The way you do your videos and all that. Once they see a particular pattern, even if they are sleeping and your video just play, they know, now this person I know. That is part of branding. Your visual identity, how you do videos, your logo, your colors, your images, the consistency across every platform. It says a lot about you. It says a lot about. For me, my color is red, and I usually wear more of red. In fact, one guy usually notice say, you're always on red. Even your nails, you're always on red. So they have known me like that. I love red color. It's part of my brand. It is part of my brand, and it's also a part of me. So people must know you with something. They must know you with a particular color. The way you dress, they must know you with a particular color. Once they're able to know you, almost show that you are doing well in this business. So, and again, you have to build your media presence. You have to build your media presence. If you're the type that says, "Oh, I don't like Facebook," you are still learning. But most of my sales is through online. Most of my 80% of my sales is through online. It's through online. But I just started going out for offline marketing. Before I don't go out. So I started to explore offline marketing to know how it is. But most of my sales come from online. All my sales leads come from online. So you have to build a good media presence. What kind of content are you teaching people? Most of us, what we are into is always come and buy land, come and buy land. You don't educate people. You don't teach them how to spot a fake land, how to verify property, how to know a good land. You don't teach them all those. What you are after is every time you go to the site, you make videos and post. A time will come, people will get bored. They will get bored. So aside business, what other things do you have to offer? Aside selling land, aside shouting, come and buy if I go. What other things do you offer? What kind of content are you doing
Lampi,
online?
Lampi,
Yes.
please hold on a little. Catch you, Felix. Please cover up. I've been trying to chat you directly or put off your camera. Lampi,
Okay.
please go on.
I should go on.
Yes, please go on.
Okay. So you need to build a media presence. How active are you on social platforms? How active are you? So you have to be very active. The way you carry yourself online will determine if people will buy properties from you. Sometimes go out in a nice restaurant, do a sharp video and post. So all those things are part of branding. So you have to have a good media for people to buy from you. It is easier to get 4,000 people online than to reach 4,000 people offline. It is easier to reach 4,000 people online than to reach 4,000 people offline. So offline media is a very powerful tool. And if you're a realtor, you know how to use social media very well. Trust me, you will never go hungry as a realtor. So you have to go and build your online presence. Because trust me, if you want to abroad clients, it is through online you're going to meet them, not offline. It is through online. So you have to have a good media presence for people to do business with you. And again, you have to also create content that makes you an authority. And the reason why people trust Coach T so much is because Coach T is an authority when it comes to coaching. When it comes to teaching you about real estate, he's an authority in the field, he's an expert. So people would like to work with him. So when you position yourself as an authority in a particular field, people will gravitate towards you. People will get attracted to you. But if you are a realtor that every time come and buy land, this one is we just launched new estate, new baby in town every day. It will not make you stand out. In fact, a lot of people that I admire or that are into this business, there is how they build their brand. Like, and be like, wow, I want to be like this person. They are an authority in the industry. So when they tell a client buy, they will buy. If they tell a client don't buy, they will not buy. So all these things are very important when it comes to building brand. You must be an authority for a client to buy from you. If not, you keep attracting low budget clients. So you have to be an authority in your field. You have to also share insights and expertise. Currently now, when you ask most writers what is government policy towards Asaba, most of us don't know. What is government trying to, is there anything that government is bringing into Asaba or any current developments by government? None of us know. What we know is come and buy land, come and buy land. We don't do research. We don't even know what is happening in Asaba markets. That is why people will come and sell empty bush. They will tell a client is buy and build. Land of 5 million is buy and, because we don't do research. When you research, you become an authority in the industry, you become an authority, an expert. People would like to consult with you. Even if you didn't make sales or you didn't sell land, clients can come and tell you, please, I want you to guide me on how to go about this. And you give them your guidance and your and all that. You collect your money. So aside that, how do you get information? What information do you know about Asaba? Most of us will tell you, come and buy properties in Asaba. Actually, Asaba is not a business area. That's just the fact. Asaba is not a business area. But because of the rush towards Asaba, because of the Onitsha and on the rest, that was what makes Asaba to be a high sought after location. But nothing, when you come to Asaba, to be honest, nothing is happening in Asaba. There is no business that is going on, except hospitality business, hotels, restaurants. There's no remarkable thing that is happening in Asaba. So how can you be able to defend that? How can you be able to educate a client? Because that is what actually says more about a brand. And then another thing again about branding is that you have to leverage on networking. You have to attend industry events. You have to attend the event, not just anyhow events. You have to attend the events. So when you attend the events, you collaborate with people. You get their number, you get their contact. You try to know people more. Most times when we go for an event, we don't meet people to know them. We meet people to market our products. It shouldn't be that way. When you meet people, you try to know what they are into, try to know more about them. You try to focus more on them, not on you. That is how to collaborate. That is how to leverage. That is how to network. It's not when you see somebody, come and buy land, we have land. No. Then you need to introduce yourself. Try and know more about that person. What business is that person into? People like it when you ask them about their business. They love it. When you try to know about them, sir, what do you do? He will tell you. And when you start asking him some interesting questions, they will become interested. So at the end, they will ask you, what do you do? They'll be the one that will ask you, what do you do? But most of us, when we go for an event, what we are after is how to start marketing our products to people. And people don't like to be sold. People don't like to be sold. So when you start telling people, they will start avoiding you. They may not tell you. When you call them or chat them up, they will not pick your calls and they will not reply your chats. So all these things is part of your branding. How do people feel when you have a conversation with them? When you come in contact with them, how do they feel? Do they feel all right? Do they feel elevated? Do they feel motivated when they meet you? That is what branding is all about. Then another thing again, the last is establishing credibility. I've talked about it. How you engage in speaking engagements, how you network with people. All those things are branding. All those things are branding. It says more about you, your business, and everything. So once you start delivering consistently, it's not when you do it today, do it tomorrow. Then the third time you say, bro, this thing I cannot keep up with it. That is not branding. Is what we do unconsciously or consciously over a long period of time. It becomes part of it. That is what branding is all about. And when you deliver consistently, trust me, people will like to do business with you. People will like, it's not just about talking about branding. It is you. It is you. It is who you are. It is how you want people to see you. This perception. That is what branding is all about. Trust me, when people don't have good perception about you, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to buy from you. If you are always the type that always calls Tinubu, when you log in, you start costing Tinubu. Trust me, most of your clients might be politicians, but because the way you cost the economy, you cost Nigeria, they're not going to buy from you. That's just a fact. So how you carry yourself in this business says a lot about you. Because this is our business, we need high net worth individuals to buy from what we are selling. You need people that have money to buy it. So that is why as a realtor, you don't have to engage in trending issues sometimes. So you just have to close your mouth, do as right. Do as if you didn't see that post. You don't have to argue about everything you see on social media. Because the more you argue about it, the more it shows more about you. It's fine to, once in a while, just jump into trending, GIF and all that. And why doing it? Just be on a neutral ground. Just be on a neutral ground. Don't try to do extreme. But when you become extreme, people will not like to do business with you. Trust me, people are emotional. People buy emotions before the products. They don't just buy land because they saw land. They buy the emotional aspects of the property. That is what our business is all about. So they buy emotion, not the products. So that you will not step on people's toes, you will not you will not step up on their emotions. Imagine you as a realtor, you always come online insulting you, Ledoche. You know, most men support you, Ledoche, for example, they support him. So you now coming online, you know, you always insult him, this and that. It will scare your clients away. You don't have to jump on every trending issues. Sometimes just close your eye, read and just waka pass. You don't have to talk on every trending issue. Later you come online, you'll be insulting you this. There are some men that have money that they like what you is doing. And you now castigating you means that you don't want them to buy from you. They'll be like, no, when they insult you, I'll not buy from him or her. So that is why sometimes you don't have to involve in every trending issue that doesn't concern you, because you are building a brand. I know once you make mistake, people will not like to do business with you. So in conclusion, branding is not just a logo. It's about your identity, your reputation, your consistency. That is what branding is all about. So you have to stand out, tell your story, build credibility so that people will trust you. So that people can be able to refer people to you. I keep telling people, see, if the company you are selling for is not doing well, you feel free to go to another company that will give you what you desire. I keep telling realtors this, if the company you are selling, every time you're complaining of one particular issue, why not leave that company and go to another company? Because trust me, if you don't deliver, client will not come back. They will not buy from you again, and you will lose that client. So if the company you are not working with is not credible, you can actually build your own table and invite people to come and eat in your own table. You mustn't join already made table. If it's not serving you, it's not part of your core values and all that. So if they are not working, feel free to walk away and find another company that is doing better, that can serve your client. Because you are here to defend your client, not the company. That is your job as a realtor, to defend your client, not the company. Because company will always stand, but your client can leave you today and go to another person. I have counted how many times some clients, I'm not the one that sold property to them, but they will always come and they will buy property for. They will tell me, I bought from this person, this person often, this person have not given me allocation. And sometimes don't try to talk down on your fellow realtors because you felt this client came to you. Don't try to talk down on them. I know most realtors do it. When a client come complaining, they'll be like, I don't mind those realtors. I don't know what they're doing. No, you don't have to put down somebody because you want to sell your product. You can actually be on a neutral ground. Can actually say, oh, maybe the person the person don't know how to solve the problem, or maybe the problem is beyond what the person can actually, that kind of. So you don't have to put down another person because you want to gain a client trust. Sometimes some clients are very smart. Want to start saying, this realtor, he or she doesn't know what she's doing. One day you might make a mistake. You might be in that in that realtor's shoes. And trust me, the client will still judge you the same way you judge the other person. So that is what branding is all about. It's about you, how people see you, how they perceive you, your reputation. If you tell them 24 hours, do you deliver within that 24 hours? If you tell them 3 weeks, do you still maintain your words within that 3 weeks? That is what says more about you. So branding is all about, it's not all about logo, paparazzi and all that. No, it's how people feel when they do business with you. It's how people imagine iPhone. Most of us don't even know the person that manufactured iPhone, but we love to use iPhone. That is branding. Because when you use iPhone, it gives you this sense of, that you're a celebrity, that you have money. There's one, iPhone will increase your status. That's what we believe. And that is why everybody is doing everything to make sure that they buy iPhone. You see, Yahoo guys doing a lot of things. You see a lot of ladies doing it just for them to buy iPhone, common iPhone. Because of the brand, the way iPhone projects themselves, that perception they have about people. That's why people can do anything to use the latest iPhone. People will do anything to get the latest iPhone. So it's all about perception, how people see you. That is all branding is all about. So that is the end, and that is all I have to say about branding.
Wow, 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 wow. I don't know if anybody is excited like I am. If you're excited, please drop a 111 on the chat box. Everybody, if you got value from this masterclass, drop a 111 on the chat box. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. It's unbelievable. Lampy. Wow. This is a huge masterclass. Thank you so much. Many of us who think branding is all about your clothes and everything is way beyond that. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Please just drop a thank you on the chat box. If you got value, type a thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Land President. Thank you for this 2 hours of 1 hour, 30 minutes of exposition. I don't know how many of you who actually wrote. I don't know how many of you who had your books, your paper, your book and your pen and you wrote. If you did, congratulations. If you didn't, you just wasted this 1 hour, 30 minutes. My notes don't full. My notes don't full. Lampi, we can't appreciate you enough. Thank you so much. So let's ask 1 or 2 questions. If you have a question, please, you can ask right now. As far as real estate or branding is concerned, if you have a question, please unmute yourself and ask.
Good evening, sir.
If you have
Good
a question,
evening,
unmute yourself and ask.
Good evening, Coach T. Good evening, Land
Yeah.
President.
Yeah, good
Is she here?
evening.
Okay.
Yes, I
Yes,
can hear
yes.
you. I can hear you. Good evening.
Oh, thank you so very much. It's indeed a pleasure to be in your class. I don't know if we have ever met before, but listening to you this evening is a blessing, I must say. These are some things we know, but we never knew they are the way we ought to go. It has always been the other way around. Thank you for simplifying it. I must tell you. Thank you for bringing it home. Thank you for all the examples. I am grateful. Okay, I want to say something regarding my page right now. Because most of the things you said are not there. What do you think I can do to my page to fix it the way will attract clients? You've been a media person. Me, I'm an outdoor person. I go out. Most of my myself is one-on-one. I have training with somebody. Then while asking questions, I told the person the extent, the way I get my clients. And the person said, my strength is in referrals. And it's the truth. If I have made 100 sales, 30 are mine, 70 are referrals. So I want to build such credibility online too. If I can begin to get such referrals online, I think it's going to make a lot of difference. So what do you think I can do on my page that can help to fix that? Thank you.
Okay. If I should get your question, what you mean is what you can do to be able to attract more people online, to build online presence, right?
Exactly, ma'am.
Yeah. I believe that there are some realtors, there are some top selling realtors that you follow on social media, right? People that you know that are doing very well in real estate, maybe on Instagram or on Facebook. So you have to observe how they, how they restructure their profile. First of all, your profile picture one, you must have a well coordinated, a professional photo on your profile one. You have to state what you do on your bio. What you do on your bio, you have to state it. So if you have more of shared posts and all that, you have to go and delete them. You have to revamp your social media. As a revamping, you have to go and delete all those rubbish that is on your profile. I don't know if you forget what I'm saying. You have to start taking more of fine pictures. If you go out, try and take fine pictures. If you want to post your picture on Facebook, you have to have a story or something you have to say about the picture. Maybe a story of what happened between a client with somebody. That kind of, there are stories that, people love reading stories. You can actually fake a story and it will look so real. So you have to tell more of stories, educate clients, and you also have to put your fine pictures on after the content or the write up. You have to attach your fine pictures. You have to start from there first. You also have to read more about real estate, make some research. Maybe, for example, you want to talk about Asaba, the government policies in Asaba. All those things are what you should talk about, because this is what people want to. People want to know what is really happening in Asaba. So you can create a whole lot of stories from Asaba. And you have to post it with your fine picture. And then you have to follow people that are doing very well in real estate. You have to follow their social media handles, see the way they do things, the way they are so organized. And there's one popular lady that I like watching her videos. Her name is Leki Aja Ikoyi. She's a realtor for over 15 years now. She sells luxury houses. I love the way that lady speaks, the way she carries herself when she's shooting video. She doesn't shout. She doesn't shout. She just well relaxed. And she just be, talking about her property, if it's 5 bedroom or 6 bedroom. I really love what that lady is doing. So the people that you look up to in this industry, they are everywhere on social media, both on Facebook, both on Instagram. So you can actually learn from this. For me, nobody sat me down and taught me all this. I love following people that are doing what I'm doing. From them, I will learn one or two things. I will add to my own, and that is it. So I love watching that lady. But when it comes to video, she doesn't stress herself. She uses good visuals. She uses good drone guy that will shoot a very clean video. And she doesn't do much. When you watch, she doesn't stress herself much. Just pata one or two talk. In fact, 1 minute maximum, she is done with her video. And she's selling us very well. So that is what perception is all about. The way you dress, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. That when people they're not even buying because of that. They're buying her because of the way she presents herself, the way she talks. She's just so gentle and so feminine. That's one thing I like about that lady. So that's what you have to do. You have to go on social media, follow people that are doing what you are doing, learn one or two things from them. Then you'll not check yours and know if you are doing what they are doing. If what you are doing is okay or not. If what you are doing is not okay, you have to, call yourself a meeting and do the right thing. I don't know if I answered your question.
Very well, ma'am. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Could you please share
All
your
right.
contact
All right.
at the end of the training, Biko?
Thank you.
Any other question? 2 more questions. Okay, let me just ask one. Lampi, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Are you
much,
there?
Coach. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so much for being with me.
I
Sorry?
want to ask this question. You talked so much about credibility, about promising and delivering, about doing what you said you will do, and all of that. But sometimes we understand that these things are not in our hands.
Yeah.
Something like allocation, documents, is not in your hand, it's in the hand of the company. So how do you balance it? How do you make these promises and ensure that these promises are followed through? In as much as you might not have the personal capacity to get these things done, how do you balance it so that you don't go and overpromise and under-deliver? How do you balance this whole thing? Maintain your credibility and to maintain your integrity.
Okay.
Are you there?
Okay, sorry. Oh, I thought that the mic is on. So in this our business, there are people that when they sell property, the company will give them favorable treatment. It happens in this our business. It happens a lot. Even though most of us will be shouting, we haven't gotten allocation. There are people that once they sell, the company will attend to them first. For any other person, it happens. So I think it's maybe a personal deal or a personal something that you have with some MD. For me, for example, now what I normally do now is if I will sell for any MD, I'll approach them, have a one-on-one conversation with them, ask them about their location. If possible, I demand for documents, even though some don't really like, because what causes this allocation issue is one. If the property have not been paid outrightly, and of course there is no how they're going to allocate if they have not sorted out the issues on ground. So you have to know the reason why the company is not allocating. That's if they are honest enough to tell you. So that is what delays allocation most times. I don't know if I'm making sense. So sometimes it could be maybe they have not really settled with the community or the family that owns it. Maybe another issue surfaced. So they are trying to solve that issue before allocation. So you have to have a one-on-one conversation with the MD. Try and know, ask them 1 or 2 questions. If they are giving allocation, fine. How long are they giving allocation? Okay, what if I don't get allocation to Tom? What other means can we, solve the problem? So it's that time that you have to approach the MDs and have a one-on-one conversation. Trust me, most of them, they may not like telling you the whole truth. They would like to hide some truth. But for you to be able to serve your clients better, you have to know all these things. You have to. Okay, there was one MD that met me today, was like, you don't sell our property. I told him, look at the tenants that I'm having. How are you going to serve me in this aspect? He was telling me that once you pay within 48 hours, we'll pay you your commission. In fact, if you sell 200 million, man, he didn't answer I was like asking my location and document. If I sell for you, how long will I get my allocation? How long will I get my document? He couldn't answer that. He was like telling me, he was telling me stories. I said, okay, well, I will think about it. And trust me, I'm not going to sell for, because the demand he wasn't honest with me. Because he knows that allocation and document is the major challenge that we're facing in this business, and he doesn't want to address it. So I can't, I can't sell for him, because if I do, it means creating more problem for myself. So as you have to approach these MDs and have a heart to heart. If they don't want to open up to you, we leave them and go to another person. So a lot of people say you can grow anywhere. You can grow anywhere. Even if I didn't get my car in people, I will still get my car in another company. You can grow anywhere. Just that we are too attached with popular brand that all of us are saying that we must pay for this brand. Sometimes you have to also create your own table. I know it's not easy, but sometimes you have to do it because of your clients. Some will tell you 1 month we will deliver. After 1 month, they will not deliver. Yes, that mistake has been done, but you have to promise that you're not going to go back and repeat the same mistake again. That's just a fact. So you have to have a one-on-one conversation with them. Strike a deal, negotiate with them. If they say 3 months, you have to negotiate. Okay, I want to get this document in 1 month. What can I do to get it within 1 month? It's all part of negotiation. You have to negotiate with them so that they will serve you and your clients better. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. So basically, you need to understand the product you want to sell, know what is on ground, the facts on ground about that product.
Exactly.
That will help you know the promises to give to your clients. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, we've spent more than 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I think this is a good place to end this call. So thank you so much, and I hope we'll do this again some other time. So for everybody who connected, thank you so much. I hope we have not wasted your time.
Not
Everything
at all.
you've learned, go and put them to practice, and grow, learn, and become better. So thank you everybody again, and have a good night. Lampi, thank you so much again. Tomorrow I'll buy you one.
Thank you, Coach T.
I'll buy you one bottle of Ferus.
I beg, take her out for a buffet.
One bottle of Ferus.
Don't mind me. Has to take you out for a buffet. Coach T,
Yeah,
not
you
you
will.
and your
I know, Coach T. He will do it. I know.
something, right? Ma, please kindly share your number with us, if you don't mind. Maybe.
Well, I have to take permission from Coach T.
No, please go ahead.
Would you share it with me?
No, go ahead, Lampi, it's fine.
Okay.
Because give me.
So I should drop it in the chat in this Zoom or
anyway, if you can drop it there, you can put it in the chat. Anyway, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. It shall be well with you, my brother.
Thank
you, madam.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.